a lot, I've been hearing, I hear from a lot of sort of uh, devout Muslims who are almost insistent upon going to the mosque, to the masjid, and people don't understand the real life impact that this has. There is the New York Times actually recently reported that a large gathering in Malaysia, a large Muslim gathering of the Tablighi Jamaat, of 16,000 people in a large mosque in Malaysia, became the largest vector for coronavirus, where people from that Tablighi Jamaat Muslim gathering in Malaysia spread corona and COVID-19 to 6 Southeast Asian countries. This has a real impact. There's a very famous hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he says, "Do no harm or reciprocate harm." And so, the do no harm is something that is central to the Hippocratic Oath that doctors take all over the world, and it's about forget the obligations that we have as Muslims. The first obligation that we have as a Muslim is to do no harm to ourselves or other human beings. And so it's not just Muslims. For example, in South Korea. South Korea actually had the second largest outbreak of COVID-19 after China. And they found that the largest vector in South Korea was from a church gathering that happened after South Korean government had actually called for self-isolation. Even in Singapore, they found that the largest COVID-19 cluster there was because of a church gathering. So these are, religious congregational gatherings. Obviously we're not, focusing just on Muslims, but in any place where there are a large group of people in close proximity to one another, obviously you and I both know when we go to the masjid, what do they say? Shoulder to shoulder,
feet
toe
to
to
feet,
toe.
shoulder to shoulder.
You can't get closer than that.
And that's after you've hugged and kissed everyone, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's something that it can have a life and death impact on people, and so we as Muslims should be aware of that. The mantra of do no harm is central to the Islamic ethos.
Of course. That mantra and hadith that you mentioned, la darar wa la dirar, and that is a beautiful hadith, and it's it's the kind of the quintessential Islamic message in Sharia. In fact, one of the principles of Sharia, protecting the 5 maqasid of Sharia, which they say, if I can remember correctly, the higher objectives of Sharia, which is hifdhul deen, the protection of the deen, hifdhul nafs, the protection of your life, most importantly, hifdhul al-aql, your intellect, your sanity, al-mal, your wealth and possessions, and al-ird, your family, I guess, and your kith and kin.